Welcome back to our channel. Today we've got some exciting news for you. The 18 Heads of State and Government Summit of the Group of 20, also known as the G20, took place in the vibrant city of New Delhi, India on September 9th and 10th, 2023. The theme Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, meaning one earth, one family, one future, reflects the interconnectedness of all life forms on our planet. This theme was all about recognizing the immense value of every living thing on our planet, from humans to animals, plants, and even those tiny microorganisms. It was a powerful reminder of how interconnected we all are in this vast universe. Now, that summit wasn't just a one-day event. It was the culmination of a year's worth of hard work through ministerial meetings, working groups, and engagement groups. The Indian presidency was determined to make the G20 summit a game changer. One of the spotlight topics that year was lifestyle for environment, or LIFE for short. It was all about making sustainable choices at both the individual and national levels. The goal, a cleaner, greener, and bluer future of sustainable living. The working groups covered a wide range of critical areas, from agriculture to anti-corruption, culture to the digital economy, disaster risk reduction to health, and everything in between. These groups worked hard to find solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges. And here was the big moment. The G20 leaders adopted a leaders' declaration at the end of the summit. This declaration solidified their commitment to the priorities discussed and agreed upon during the ministerial and working group meetings. Now, who is in the G20 club? Well, it is made up of 19 countries and the European Union. The 19 countries were Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Germany, France, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, the Republic of Korea, Mexico, the Russian Federation, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, the UK, and the US. India holds the presidency of the G20 from December 1, 2022 till November 2023. The G20 logo. India's G20 presidency brings a rich symbolism through its logo and theme. The logo draws from India's national flag, combining earth with the lotus, symbolizing growth amid challenges. India's G20 presidency signifies a commitment to just and equitable global growth, championing sustainability and inclusivity in these turbulent times. Additionally, it marks the beginning of Amrit Kal, a 25-year journey toward a prosperous and human-centric society commemorating India's independence. The G20's evolution. The G20 started gaining serious prominence after the global economic and financial crisis in 2007. It was in 2009 that it got upgraded to the level of heads of state and government. Essentially, it became the go-to forum for international economic cooperation. The rotating presidency. Each year, a member country gets the honor of holding the G20 presidency. In 2022, it was Indonesia's turn to take the reins, and in the upcoming year, Brazil is set to lead the pack, the oversee G20 agenda and host the summit. The two tracks. Now, here's where it gets interesting. There are two tracks within the G20. First, we've got the finance track led by the finance ministers and central bank governors. They handle all things financial. The Sherpa track. On the other hand, we've got the Sherpa track guided by, you guessed it, Sherpas. No, not the mountain climbing kind, but personal emissaries of the leaders. They follow the finance track's lead and make sure everything's running smoothly from the leader's perspective. So that's the lockdown on how the G20 works. It's all about international economic cooperation with member countries taking turns at the helm and the finance and Sherpa tracks keeping things on track. These are the countries and international organizations invited to the big event. Countries: Bangladesh, Comoros, Egypt, Mauritius, Netherlands, Nigeria, Oman, Singapore, Spain, United Arab Emirates. International organizations like Asian Development Bank, Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, Financial Stability Board, International Labour Organization, International Monetary Fund, International Solar Alliance, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, United Nations, World Bank, World Health Organization, World Trade Organization. G20 Research and Innovation Initiative Gathering. During India's presidency of the G20 in 2023, the aim was to maintain continuity with the inter-year agenda under the Research Ministers' meeting. In line with previous RIG meeting, they selected the central theme of research and innovation for an equitable society. This choice focused on fostering cooperation among G20 member countries and exploring how scientific research and innovation could contribute to social justice and economic equality. Recognizing the pivotal relationship between science and the economy, RIIG and S20 meetings served as platforms for stakeholders to exchange ideas and form partnerships. The government emphasized the importance of designing frameworks that generate new markets and sustain macroeconomic growth while acknowledging the need for additional efforts to extend these benefits and achieve socio-economic equity. RIIG's goal was to address the challenges of equity through research and innovation, proposing the establishment of a G20 working group on research, innovation, and equity, promoting international scientific cooperation and equitable access to research and innovation benefits through policy development and collaboration. India's G20 priorities. Now, let's discuss about India's priorities at the G20 Summit. Priority 1: Green Development. Climate finance and life. India is going all in on climate change, putting a spotlight on climate finance and technology. They are also big on ensuring that developing countries make just energy transitions. Plus, they have introduced the Life movement, which is all about embracing eco friendly practices rooted in India's sustainable traditions. Priority 2: Accelerated, inclusive, and resilient growth. India's second focus is on growth that benefits everyone. They are looking at areas like supporting small and medium sized businesses in global trade, championing labor rights and welfare, bridging the global skills gap, and creating inclusive agricultural value chains and food systems. Priority 3: Accelerating progress on SDGs. Next up, India is doubling down on achieving the sustainable development goals laid out in the 2030 agenda. They are particularly keen on dealing with the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Priority number 4: Technological transformation and digital public infrastructure. India wants tech to work for the people. They are all about a human centric approach to technology. They are also big on sharing knowledge in areas like digital public infrastructure, financial inclusion, and using tech to boost agriculture and education. Priority number 5: Multilateral institutions for the 21st century. India is on a mission to reform the global playing field. They are pushing for a more accountable, inclusive, and representative international system that can tackle the challenges of the 21st century. Priority number 6: Women led development. Last but definitely not the least, India is all about inclusive growth and development. They are putting a special focus on empowering women and giving them a leading role in boosting socio-economic development and achieving those SDGs. India's G20 priorities are certainly ambitious and promising. They are tackling climate change, fostering growth for all, and pushing for a better, more inclusive world. G20 Summit History Overview. Now, let's take a deep dive into the history of the G20 summits. We'll be exploring the key moments and decisions made at these influential gatherings of world leaders. 2008 and 2009 in Washington, D.C. and London. The journey begins in 2008 in Washington, D.C., USA. This inaugural G20 summit was a game changer as it paved the way for significant global financial reforms in response to the 2008 financial crisis. In 2009, the action continued in London, where the G20 took steps to combat tax evasion and strict measures on hedge funds and rating agencies. They also expanded the Financial Stability Forum, renaming it the Financial Stability Board. 2010 and 2011, Toronto and Seoul. The G20's focus shifted to sovereign debt reduction at the Toronto Summit in 2010 with commitments to cut budget deficits. Seoul in 2010 saw the adoption of Basel III norms for stricter banking regulation and the introduction of development policy issues known as the Seoul Consensus. 2012, 2013, and 2014, Los Cabos, St. Petersburg, and Brisbane. Los Cabos in 2012 put the spotlight on youth unemployment and green growth. St. Petersburg in 2013 made strides in combating tax evasion, and Brisbane in 2014 aimed to increase global GDP by 2%. Banking regulations also continue to evolve during this period. 2015 and 2016, Antalya and Hangzhou. The Antalya Summit in 2015 touched on migration, climate change, and financial sector reforms. Hangzhou in 2016 emphasized sustainable growth and marked the debut of the digital economy on the G20's agenda. 2017 Hamburg. Under the theme Shaping an Interconnected World, the G20 focused on countering terrorism, energy security, and aligning policies with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. 2018 Buenos Aires. Argentina's presidency centered on building consensus for fair and sustainable development. They tackled various issues from gender empowerment to climate action. 2019 Osaka. The Osaka summit addressed trade, digitalization, climate change, and more. Leaders also emphasized the importance of preventing online terrorism and violent extremism. 2020 Saudi Arabia. The first ever virtual G20 summit due to COVID 19 featured discussions on pandemic response, economic support, and debt relief initiatives. 2021 Italy. Italy's presidency highlighted global health, economic recovery, climate change, and sustainable development. Significant milestones included global tax reforms and food security initiatives. 2022 Indonesia. Indonesia's Recover Together, Recover Stronger theme focused on global health, digital transformation, and sustainable energy transitions. This summit was the result of a year's worth of hard work through ministerial meetings, working groups, and engagement groups. India, as the host, had ambitious priorities, including addressing climate change, fostering inclusive growth, achieving sustainable development goals, and advocating for a more equitable international system. The G20 continues to play a crucial role in international economic cooperation, with member countries taking turns at the helm and the finance and Sherpa tracks, ensuring smooth proceedings. It also expanded its reach by inviting countries and international organizations to participate in the summit discussions. Overall, the G20 remains a forum where world leaders come together to tackle pressing global issues and work towards a more sustainable, inclusive, and interconnected future for all. Hence, we can say that the G20 has played an important role in shaping the world's economic and political landscape. Stay tuned for more updates on international events and global initiatives. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more informative content like this. Thanks for watching.